Hey guys, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to this next iced coffee day. And today I'm going to recap week 10 of my 12-week cut. We are getting closer and closer to the end. We are getting there. And I can sum up week 10 by saying it was a hot mess and I literally didn't track any of my food. I didn't even open up MyFitnessPal. So that's how week 10 went. And I am really getting into the mind and the psyches of our clients and sometimes like how they might struggle during their cuts as far as diet fatigue goes. So last week it was Memorial Day, so it was really like a short week for me to begin with. And then I went to Austin for most of the week for this business mastermind event with Jill Coleman, Jill Fit, who is, my business mentor. And yeah, just between travel and, not having total control of what I was eating, I just didn't track anything. And honestly, being at week 10 out of 12 weeks, yeah, the diet fatigue has set in hard. And it's not to say like I didn't do anything, I didn't go off the rails or anything like that. I mean, I made an effort. Even when I was on my trip, I was really trying to like seek out protein and seek out whole foods and be mindful of what I was consuming. So I don't think I went off the rails by any means, but like there was definitely no tracking. I mean, maybe I tracked like a couple things just to see like where it might fall, but really like did like nothing on the effort level last week. And can't work out, haven't done any workouts at all in 2 weeks, and I haven't really done much walking. And it's funny because with like all the traveling and everything, I was sitting on a plane, and then our sessions were 9 to 5, so I sat all day. And honestly, my hip felt a lot better. Just not doing anything. And taking muscle relaxers. I've been taking muscle relaxers for almost 2 weeks. Will be 2 weeks in a few days. And I can't say they're like kind of helping. Like I'm better than I was overall, but I'm definitely not 100% and can't lift heavy things. So I'll have to talk about how doing a cut with no exercise has worked because I'm really kind of surprised at the progress I've made. I'm going to do an in-body at the end of this whole thing just to see the type of muscle mass that I've lost. But it's just been interesting because I just figured there would be strength training and maybe some cardio in there, but there has been no fitness for this cut, so that's been really interesting. But anyways, today I'm going to talk about timing. That was my theme for today. So, like I said, this is week 10 out of 12, and yeah, I had a case of the fuck-its, 100%. Also, just life, and I just wasn't trying, I was just like, I could have tracked, the meals that I had. We had wonderful lunches that were all healthy. We had chicken one day, we had salmon the next, tons of veggies. So obviously like I could have like guesstimated and tracked these things. We went out to dinner, both nights we were there, we had happy hours. I could have estimated and tracked all that stuff, but I literally just didn't. So very much understand diet fatigue and whatnot. So hold on one second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Quinn was going nuts with his recorder in the living room. Not sure if you could have heard it, but I was like, I'm not done with this reel, and I'm not sure I want to listen to record for the rest of it. Real, live, whatever it is. Okay, so let's talk about timing. I apologize, guys. You guys know how I am. Timing. So my point here was, this has been a long cut. And I think in my head, when I decided to commit to 12 weeks, I was like, I want to do it slow and steady. Like, I don't want to feel super restricted. I don't want to feel super hungry. And I was really mindful of not losing a ton of muscle because when you are in a fat loss phase, yes, you're going to lose body fat, but you are also going to lose muscle. And I started my bulk in October and I spent a lot, I've been bulking for a while now, you know what I mean? I've been really focused on strength training, really focused on muscle. So just like all that time and energy, like getting to a fat loss phase and losing all of that muscle that you worked so hard for, I just didn't want to lose it, you know what I mean? So I was really thinking about that. So that's why I picked 12 weeks. And I should have introduced this, but when we do cuts or do fat loss phases with our clients, we give them a time range anywhere from 8 to 16 weeks. I picked right in the middle, just thinking like, let's be kind of like moderate with this because 8 weeks, that's kind of like a quick and dirty cut. Like you're just getting it done. it could be more aggressive. It's for somebody who probably doesn't have like a ton of weight to lose. They just kind of want to like lean out for the summer, or lean out for vacation or something like that. And that's totally cool. Like 8 weeks. Maybe that's something I consider moving forward, or maybe I do 10 weeks next time. I decided on 12, kind of right in the middle. And 16 weeks, that is 4 months out of the year. That is a really freaking long cut. And I knew myself, and I was like, I don't want to spend that much time tracking my food, paying attention to protein, exercising, RIP exercising, but I didn't want to do all those things for 4 months. That was just like a really, really long time to mentally be in this like dieting space, because you have to pay attention to your food. You have to pay attention to being in a deficit. There's just so many things that you have to do. So I just knew myself 16 weeks was a long time, and that sounded miserable. And a 16-week cut might be good for somebody who, doesn't want a ton of restriction. It's definitely like a slow and steady process, and could be for somebody that has more weight to lose and obviously wants to do it in a more sustainable method. So I picked in the middle. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to make it quick and dirty. I can't devote 4 months to this. Just, I know my personality. That's way too long. Look at us. We're at week 10 and I'm like over it. So it really is all about timing. And then also what goes hand in hand with timing is timing your fat loss phase to a time in your life where you can be successful. And I think this is key too. I can't tell you how many clients we've worked with over the years where they plan a cut and 8 million things pop up. They're not able to be consistent. They get frustrated. They don't get the results that they want. And honestly, if we had just been patient with the timing, or time that cut to a different time in their life, they would have got better results. So what I mean by this is like, doing a cut in the summer can be really hard for some people because there's vacations, there's barbecues, you're traveling. If your toddler isn't sleeping through the night and you're not sleeping through the night, not a great time to do a cut. Or if you just have little kids in general that are waking up all night long. Like, I do not recommend fat loss phases to moms where they're waking up multiple times at night. Like, your kids are getting sick all the time. Not a good time to do a cut. It's a busy time at work, and I had a client not too long ago who she worked in fundraising. So they have like this like cyclical calendar year where there's certain times a year where like they're fundraising like really hard for certain things, and other times where it's kind of quiet. She wanted to do a cut, but she's like, it's a really busy time at work. It's culminating with this big event and everything. And she's like, yeah, I feel like I should wait a few weeks to start this. And I was like, yes, absolutely. And we waited till the end of this big, fundraising cycle and event and everything. And once things calmed down, then she could focus on her cut. So it's all about like finding a time in your life where things aren't so busy or aren't so crazy. And I know life. I know how life is. Like, it's never a perfect time to do it, but not doing it at a time where you're going to be crazy busy. Like, you're traveling, 2 out of 4 weeks of the month for work or something like that, but a time that's more low key. So we have a bunch of teachers in Fit and Fueled right now, and they're coming to summer break. So for them, summer break might be a nice time to do a cut because they don't have as much going on. A slow time at work, or your kids are sleeping through the night. You know what I mean? The kids are a little bit older and there's a little bit more consistency with your sleep. That would be a good time to do a cut. So just really like thinking about where you can fit it into the year. And this is, exactly what we do inside Fit and Fueled. I'm not trying to do a sales pitch for Fit and Fueled, just trying to explain where I'm coming from. And I'm a big fan of timing these fat loss phases to a time in your life where you can be successful. It's like, why work against yourself and make it harder? It's already harder enough to be focused on food and track everything, weigh everything, measure everything, be mindful of the snacks and the treats and, all the things that go into a cut. So why not make it easier for yourself? So just wanted to point out those few things. And just to sum up here, I have 2 weeks to go. I literally considered just quitting and just being done with this, just going back to just intuitive eating and doing my own thing. But you know what? I committed to 12 weeks and it's only 2 more weeks and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to commit to these 2 weeks. I am going to make an effort to track my food, to get the protein in, to do the things. Obviously, there's not going to be much fitness. I am going to take a class today at Magnitude. So we're going to slowly get back into it, have the MRI on the agenda. Still no heavy lifting, but it'll be interesting to see just how much muscle I lost. And yeah, once I'm better, we'll build the muscle back, I guess. But just gonna keep trucking and be consistent the next 2 weeks and just finish strong. And then as for what the scale did this week, it went up like 0.8 pounds. So again, I feel like that could just be water fluctuations. I would say things just kind of stayed the same this week, which is fine. You know, I didn't do anything, so I wouldn't expect any major progress this week. But I feel like those small fluctuations is a lot of time water weight, and you know, the trends are more important. And yeah, trending from, you know, 10 weeks ago, I have definitely lost some weight. So let's hope it's body fat and not all muscle. All right, guys, 2 weeks to go. I'll give you some updates then, but you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for following this journey, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.